Relax, princess, my brother murmurs, loud enough for the table to hear. Dad already said who he's proud of. Means you can pick up the check too. A few cousins snicker. Glasses clink. My father's arm is still raised mid-toast, face glowing with that public warmth he saves for other people. The waiter slides the leather folder toward me, quiet as a threat. $1,850 sits inside like a brick on my chest. Course after surprise course my brother ordered as if menus were days. Across the table, my mother studies her napkin, folding it into smaller truths. It's funny, the shape of love in some families, how it looks like applause in front of strangers and a ledger in front of you. Hy everyone, my name is Arden Cole. I don't talk like this at the table. Not yet. Inside, though, I'm counting the times I covered just this once, the interest-free loans that became stories about my good heart, the birthdays I sat through while the candles burned on cakes I bought. My hands are steady. My pulse is not. The betrayal doesn't arrive with a shout. It arrives wrapped in velvet, Dad's smile, my brother's smirk, the hush that follows a toast. I can feel the room lean toward me, expecting my gracious nod, my card, my practiced laugh. I imagine passing the folder back, making a joke, letting it all float away like steam from the last plate of truffle pasta I never ordered. But tonight, the steam hangs heavier. The chandelier above throws warm light that makes everything look honest. It isn't. The ice in my water glass fractures with a small, knife-like sound, and everyone glances at it, then back at me. The pianist on the far side of the dining room is playing something soft and pretty. It bleeds into the edges of my thoughts like a promise I don't quite believe. I lift my glass. The cut crystal catches the chandelier, spraying stars onto the white tablecloth like confetti we didn't earn. To family, I say, because that's the script they recognize. My brother leans back in his chair, satisfied. Dad softens, performance ready. The leather folder waits under my fingertips. I feel the grain of it, the heat of my own patience burning through. I rise. Chairs hush. Conversations around us stutter and stop, a sea drawing breath. The waiter pauses mid-stride, the pianist misses a note and pretends he didn't. I meet my father's eyes, and for the first time all evening, his smile flickers, barely, but enough to show me the seam. I tip the bill forward so the figures face the room, and the candles quiver. The whole place leans into the quiet as if it might overhear a secret. And in that tender hush, before I say a single word, I feel the balance finally shift, like a door unlatching in a house I've lived in all my life. The paper whispers as I close the bill. My fingertips linger on it, like it's more than numbers, like it's a history written in ink. My brother drums his knuckles against his wine glass, smirk stretching wider. She'll cover it, he says, casual, as if I'm an account with no password, no end. My mother clears her throat, eyes darting to my father. He doesn't meet them. Instead, he leans back, chest full with the pride of a man who's never paid the cost of his own applause. His toast still hangs in the air. She's the daughter I'm proud of. Proud, because I never fight, because I absorb the hits in silence. The waiter, unsure, hovers by my shoulder. His pen clicks once, a nervous metronome to the tension now coiled around the table. A cousin whispers something I can't catch, but it sounds like awkward. The chandelier light trembles, casting gold halos on faces that look away rather than face me. I slide the folder back across the table. It lands in front of my father with a soft thud, like a verdict no one expected. No, I say. Just that. A single syllable, clean and sharp. The sound fractures the room. My brother lets out a scoff, half laugh, half warning. Come on, Arden. Don't make it weird. He says my name like a weapon, like a reminder of my role, the fixer, the reliable one. I meet his eyes, steady, calm. I'm not paying for this. The air pulls tighter. Forks pause midway, glasses freeze against lips. My father's jaw shifts, but he doesn't speak. He doesn't defend me. He never does. My mother finally looks up, but her silence is worse than any word. She won't risk choosing sides, not here, not in public. The pianist restarts his song, softer, slower, like background for a scene he doesn't want to score. But I can feel it, every beat of my heart sinking with the keys. The whole room pretends not to watch, but I see the waiters lined at the wall, the strangers' sneaking glances. 4 years, my family has written me into this script. The invisible sponsor, the daughter who absorbs the debt so the story of their pride can continue. But tonight, I'm tearing pages. The leather folder stays in front of my father. My brother's smirk falters, just slightly. And in that crack of silence, I realize, no one here knows me at all. My father's smile doesn't disappear, it hardens. It's the kind of smile he's used in boardrooms, polite but sharp, designed to cut without raising his voice. Arden, he says, low, like he's correcting a child in church. Don't embarrass us. Us. Not him, not my brother. Us. The whole family, an empire I never built but was expected to bankroll. My brother leans forward, smug confidence sliding back into place. She'll cave, he mutters, as though the decision's already written. But I stay standing. The chandelier light paints my water glass into a prism of fractured rainbows. The $1,850 bill still lies untouched before my father, its numbers glowing like a challenge. The tablecloth between us feels like a battlefield line, neat and white, daring me to cross it. I'm not embarrassed, I say, steady. My voice doesn't crack. My pulse races, yes, but it fuels me. But you should be. Gasps rise, quick and shallow. A cousin coughs into his napkin. My mother's eyes widen like I've just spoken in tongues. My father blinks once, then places both palms flat on the table as though grounding himself. His knuckles whiten. You've always had a dramatic streak, he says, his tone carrying a warning wrapped in disappointment. But family comes first. I tilt my head, a faint smile pulling at my mouth. That's what I've been told. Every single time, family first. Funny how it always means me last. The waiter shifts from one foot to the other, unsure whether to collect the folder or retreat. Around us, conversations that had resumed in nervous murmurs die again. The pianist slows mid-song, lingering on a note that hangs too long, trembling like the air between us. My brother exhales a laugh. She's just making a scene. His chair screeches back as he leans, cocky. Arden doesn't have the guts to. But I cut him off. Say one more word, I whisper, and you'll find out exactly how much I've been keeping quiet. The table freezes. My father studies me as though he's never seen me before. My mother swallows hard, a fragile sound in the silence. I realize in that moment, it isn't just the bill. It's every bill. Every moment they made me carry the cost of their pride. And for the first time in my life, I let the weight slip off my shoulders, straight onto theirs. The chandelier hums faintly overhead, buzzing like a secret waiting to be spoken. And I know exactly what I'm about to say next. I lower my hand onto the back of my chair, steady, deliberate, like I'm planting a flag. Do you know what's funny? My voice slices through the quiet, smooth but edged with something new, something dangerous. My brother rolls his eyes. Here we go. Funny, I continue, louder this time, that Dad's toast was about being proud of me. Not for who I am. Not for what I've done. But proud because I pay. Because I carry. Because I keep the machine running so none of you ever have to look in a mirror. The words drop like stones. My father stiffens, his gaze tightening, but still he says nothing. My mother finally whispers, Arden, please. It's soft, desperate, but not for me, for them. For the illusion. I lean forward, palms pressed to the table. Every single birthday dinner. Every Christmas trip. Every family emergency. Who covered it? Me. Who signed checks so my brother's car wouldn't be repossessed? Me. Who transferred money at midnight so the mortgage didn't bounce? Me. But somehow, it's never enough to earn pride. Just debt. The silence isn't awkward anymore. It's thick, choking, alive. My brother laughs again, forced this time, brittle at the edges. You think anyone here wants your little speech? Just pay and stop pretending you're some kind of martyr. I stare at him, long enough that his grin falters. A martyr dies for others. I've been living for you. Gasps ripple across the table. A fork clatters onto a plate, loud as thunder. My father's fist clenches once, knuckles whitening. He opens his mouth, closes it again, caught between the mask of respectability and the truth bleeding across the tablecloth. I take the leather folder and slide it back toward the waiter, firm. Not tonight. Not ever again. The waiter hesitates, glances at my father. But it's me, he answers, with a small nod. He tucks the folder under his arm and disappears into the hush. All around us, strangers watch openly now, this family theater too loud to ignore. The pianist stops entirely, fingers hovering above the keys. I straighten, let the silence breathe. Let them feel the absence of my compliance. 4 years, they've lived on the certainty of my yes. Tonight, I gave them their first no. And in the space it leaves, their entire world begins to tilt. My brother slams his palm against the table, silverware rattling like startled birds. You're humiliating us, he hisses, but the volume betrays him, half the dining room hears it. Heads turn, eyes sharpen. I don't flinch. Humiliation, I say slowly, is being treated like an ATM with a pulse. The words hang there, jagged and unpolished, too real to sweep away. My father shifts in his seat, trying to mask the tremor in his jaw. Arden. Enough. His tone is sharp, clipped, the same tone he used when I was 12 and spilled juice on his papers. But I am not 12. And I am not afraid. I take a breath, calm, controlled. No, Dad. Enough was years ago. Tonight is different. The waiter reappears at the edge of the table, tentative. Sir, would someone else like to handle the bill? His question slices through the tension. My brother reaches for his wallet with exaggerated slowness, like a martyr in his own play. Fine, he mutters, flashing me a glare. I'll cover it. Wouldn't want Arden's performance to ruin dinner. But he hesitates. His card isn't in his hand yet. He wants me to crack first, to laugh it off, to grab the folder back. I don't. Instead, I lean closer, my voice dropping into a razor whisper meant for both of them. How many times have I covered for you, James? The $4,200 for your car? The $7,800 when your credit card's maxed? The loan Dad called an advance but never paid back? Do I need to keep going? James freezes, caught mid-grin. My father's head whips toward me, eyes narrowing, because I'm not bluffing. The strangers around us shift, murmuring, catching fragments of numbers and betrayal. The pianist's hands lower onto the keys again, pressing one single note that vibrates through the silence, eerie and unbroken. I feel the power twist, subtle but absolute. For once, they're exposed. Their secrets, their debts, the game they played behind my back, it isn't just mine to carry anymore. The waiter clears his throat, uncomfortable. Who, then? I sit back, lift my glass, and take a slow sip of water, the ice clinking like applause only I can hear. Not me, I say, steady as steel. Not ever again. And with that, the spotlight shifts entirely, onto the very people who built their pride on my silence. The leather folder now sits like an accusation between my father and brother. Neither moves. My brother's smirk has collapsed into something ugly, twitching at the edges. My father's jaw pulses, silent, furious, calculating. The room is no longer pretending not to watch. Conversations have thinned to a hum, eyes flicking toward our table as though waiting for the next crack of thunder. My mother finally speaks, her voice trembling. Arden, please, this isn't the place. I turn to her, soft but unflinching. It's always the place when it costs me. Why is it never the place when it costs you? Her mouth opens, closes. She folds her napkin tighter, shredding it between her fingers, choosing silence again. Always silence. James, the brother who's coasted on charm and demands, finally pulls out his wallet, dramatic, as if the act itself redeems him. He flips it open, emptiness flashing like a confession. No card. No cash. Just scraps of loyalty cards and a driver's license that proves nothing. Really? I whisper, leaning closer. Not even enough to cover a single plate. He glares, red rising in his cheeks. This isn't about money. It's about respect. I laugh, sharp, cold. Respect? You've mistaken me for the family vault. You respect my balance, not my name. My father finally snaps, voice low but burning. Arden, sit down. We'll discuss this later. No, I answer, Standing taller, every nerve alive. We've been discussing it later my entire life. Later after your business setbacks. Later after James's failures. Later after every bill shoved in my hands. Later has drained me dry. Later ends tonight. The waiter shifts uneasily, glancing around for guidance. But the whole dining room has gone reverent, spellbound. The pianist touches the keys again, a fragile chord echoing like a soundtrack to the unraveling of a dynasty. James slams his empty wallet shut, the sound hollow as his smirk. You think walking away makes you strong? It makes you selfish. I meet his eyes, steady. Selfish is what you've been. Strong is what I'm becoming. The bill still rests there, heavy and unanswered. The air thickens with the weight of my refusal, a refusal so alien it feels like a rebellion centuries overdue. And in that charged silence, I know, I've shifted the story forever. Their world has cracked open. And I am not the one left exposed. The silence is a storm. Every fork, every glass, every heartbeat in the room seems to echo against the marble floor. My father's composure fractures, just enough to reveal the rage underneath. He clears his throat, aiming for control. You're being ungrateful, he says, each syllable sharp. Ungrateful. The word tastes bitter. How many nights did I transfer money so they could sleep without fear? How many birthdays did I pay for just to be ignored in the photographs? My chest tightens, but not from shame. From release. You've mistaken silence for gratitude, I reply, my tone calm as still water. I've carried this family so long, you forgot what it feels like to stand. My brother shoves his chair back, the legs screeching against tile. He's flushed, fists balled, but he can't meet my eyes. The empty wallet sits in front of him like proof of his hollow bravado. The waiter coughs softly, breaking the spell. Sir, the bill. All heads turn, to my father. The man who toasted pride in me, the man who built his throne on my sacrifices. He presses his lips thin, then reaches into his suit pocket with stiff fingers. His black card glints in the light, foreign in his hand, as if even he isn't used to touching it. When he sets it down, the weight shifts. Not just on the table, on all of us. A murmur ripples across the dining room. The pianist begins to play again, a slow, haunting melody, as though scoring the fall of a kingdom. I don't sit. I don't soften. I let the moment stretch, let them feel the raw edge of consequence. For the first time, I'm not the one covering the cost. For the first time, they are paying. And in their uneasy silence, I feel the truth bloom inside me. Freedom has a sound, and it's the quiet that follows no. The waiter takes my father's card with careful hands, as though he's carrying away a crown stripped from a king. My father doesn't look at me. His jaw works, silent, swallowing words he can't afford to spill in public. My mother's eyes glisten, but even her tears feel rehearsed, another plea for peace at my expense. James mutters under his breath, too low for the table, but loud enough for me. You'll regret this. I lean toward him, voice steady, almost gentle. No, James. You will. Because from tonight on, my wallet is closed. And when the debts come due, when the favors run out, you'll learn exactly how much I've been holding you up. He stiffens, but he doesn't answer. He can't. His silence is louder than his threats. The pianist shifts into something lighter, almost mocking, as if the room itself knows the tide has turned. I catch the eyes of strangers across the dining hall, people who've witnessed the theater of my family's pride unraveling. Some look pitying. Others approving. None look away. The waiter returns, sets down the receipt in front of my father. For once, it is not mine to sign. The pen hovers in his grip, then scratches across the paper, slow and heavy. A man paying for more than a meal. I push in my chair, the scrape deliberate, final. Dinner's over, I say. Not to them, not to the room, but to the years of silent compliance that chained me here. As I walk out, the chandelier light follows, scattering fractured stars across the floor. Behind me, the murmur of voices rises again, the world resuming, but changed. Outside, the night air is sharp, cool, alive. I inhale deeply, the weight gone, my chest lighter than it has ever been. For the first time, I am not carrying them. For the first time, I am only carrying myself.